pleasure of having Kirsty with me, Kirsty Giles. You're welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Annie. I'm very well.
Good. How is Recovery College?
The Recovery College is great.
Good.
Yeah.
So you're here to talk to me about autism.
I am. So I was lucky to be part of the trust-wide Autism Strategy development group over the past 2 years.
Good.
And I also lead the Recovery College, and I'm an occupational therapist. So I've been able to bring together different parts of my working life with the co-production team involved in the strategy.
Okay. I've got quite a number of questions for you. Earlier this month, we celebrated the Autism Awareness Week. Do you think we're talking more about autism than we previously have done?
Yeah, I think we are at the Trust, and the development of the strategy over the past 2 years has enabled us to think more widely about how we're supporting autistic people, their carers and staff who are also autistic within the workplace at SLAM. So it's been a really interesting piece of work to be part of.
And can you tell me about the relationship between autism and mental health?
So during the strategy development, we learned that there's about 15% of the UK population are neurodivergent. And very, very sadly, for those people who are autistic, their life expectancy is lower, they have a higher risk of mental health difficulties, and sadly they're at much higher risk of experiencing suicidal thoughts and actually taking their own lives. So there's significant risk factors associated for people who have autism.
And this new strategy, All Ages Autism Strategy, what does it mean for the workforce?
For the workforce, it's an important document because it looks at the care and support needs of children, young people and adults who are autistic, and also our staff members who are autistic and those who want to work for SLAM in the future. As you mentioned, less than 30% of people who experience autism are employed, and we've come to learn that although we have good numbers of people applying for jobs at SLAM who disclose that they're autistic, it doesn't necessarily translate to them coming to their interviews. So there's an issue around navigating that employment process and journey, and then potentially retention of staff as well. So there's not only the care and support on the clinical side of things, there's the work environment and how we can make it more accessible and a better experience for autistic people. Being from the Recovery College co-production is something that we are embedded in that approach. So it is about, it's a service user and carer involvement approach where stakeholders from a wide range of different perspectives come together to design, deliver and then evaluate services. And in this situation we had service users who are autistic, carers of autistic people, staff members from academic, clinical and operational roles within the Trust, working together over that 2 years to look at the 6 different areas that you mentioned at the start of the interview, to pull those different perspectives together into one strategy that covers the entire age group and the clinical and operational side of things at SLAM.
And so what can the staff expect with this new strategy?
I think the staff should expect to hear the voices of all those different stakeholders, particularly the service users and carers in the document, and have guidance there to support them to understand the experience of autistic people, whether they are using our services, caring for people using our services, or they're employed in our services. Because often people come to SLAM who are autistic, but it's not their primary diagnosis, and it might not be obvious that they have the diagnosis. They may be reluctant to disclose it because of stigma that they've experienced in the past. So it's really about making the organisation more accessible and autism friendly as a workplace for the staff.
Thank you. And if there's one word that you want listeners, people watching to take away, what would that be?
Oh, that's a tough one in one word. I can probably come come up with one sentence.
Okay, you go for it.
Read the strategy.
Read the strategy.
We really want people to read it and understand it because we think it's applicable to all of our workplaces at SLAM.
Okay, so my audience, Kirsty said, read the strategy. Thank you so much, Kirsty.
Thank you.
I could talk to you all day long, but I've got to let you go. I'm sure Recovery College needs you back at the ranch. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure having conversation with you. Well, that's the first series of the first in the series of what you'll be expecting over the coming weeks. So thank you very much for listening to my interview with Kirsty. See you again soon.